Good morning, Canada, and good morning, UCW. In today's show, we will be talking about sustainable innovation in the context of organizational cultural diversity and the role of cultural intelligence and knowledge sharing. Let's hear from our host, Marty Patawar.
Today, we're here with a very special, intelligent group of people who are professional and knowledgeable in the world of human resource. Let's all welcome Philip Raymond Lim, an HRMT course professor from the University of Canada West.
Hi,
And
everybody.
yep, good morning.
Good
And
morning.
Karen Smith, who is a human resource director of Phone Link Incorporated.
Good
Hey,
morning,
Karen.
everyone.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Yep. Next in our list is Michelle Mendoza, who is
Hello,
a talent acquisition specialist from Phone Link Incorporated.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
Yep. Thank you and good morning. And last but not the least, of course, we have Jainab Nadja, an HRMT student from University of Canada West. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much.
So first and foremost, I want to greet you a good morning. So we're here to talk about a very well um, spoken about topic regarding international HRM. So I want to know about the nitty gritty, the details of managing an HRM in an international landscape. So it's a very interesting topic for me. So please enlighten us right now, because all I understand about human resource is that they're the ones responsible for hiring, training employees, even the compensation, and of course, the most famous, terminating or leaving the company, terminating them if they not go, if they have to go against the company policies and rules, and something that they did, that's not according to rules and regulations. We go deep into that? Maybe we can start with Philip, professor.
Hi. Good morning. Um, Thank you for that question. Well, human resource in the global context is more about. It's talking more about how a company could adapt to a global environment, and especially in this process we call globalization. We can see now that companies, multinational enterprises are hiring talents from different parts of the world because now, as we strive to innovate, diversity is actually a key. Do you agree with me?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And so it costs human resource managers um, getting more involved in activities where they think about how they can possibly invite these people to come in to become part of their workforce. And so there are some various legal jurisdictions in different countries. They have different laws, taxations that they have to deal with, and this comes it becomes more complex, right? And so employees, they really have to train to become more professional in their roles in the company, most especially in that certain region where they operate. And that is the main role of human resource in the global context. More than the things that you have talked about, which is very general understanding of people about human resource, which basically talks about hiring, training, terminating, providing incentives. So it's much more complex as the normal human resource.
Yeah,
Yes.
understood. So I heard the term complex there, and cultural, intelligence for one,
Yes.
which is
Cultural
very famous.
intelligence.
Yep. So we can call it CQ. Right now we have the EQ, the IQ, and then now you know, this CQ thing, right? So which serves as a big role on sustaining the behavior of employees. So what else does this cultural intelligence means? Maybe Jainab or the student that the student guest that we have right now can.
Professor Ali and Soon developed the concept of cultural intelligence, which is, we can say also CQ, which
Mhm.
assesses an individual's ability to effectively adapt to the new cultural environment. So, CQ reflects an individual's capability to function and manage effectively in a culturally diverse environment. So, it is a specific form of intelligence. Mainly focused on the capability to grasp, reason, and behave effectively in situations characterized by cultural diversity.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So thank you for that, China. But I heard again the word effectively, and it's been used so many times, in terms of like operations, even in HR, it's a thing right now. But what can you say about employees, CQ having a positive impact in terms of their, sustainable innovation behavior? So maybe, the HR director, Karen can, speak out regarding this.
Sure. Good question. Well, CQ has four dimensions: metacognition, cognition, motivation, and behavior. Metacognition focuses on higher order cognitive process. Cognition reflects knowledge of the norms, practice, and conventions in different cultures acquired from the education and personal experience. Motivation reflects the capability to direct attention and energy towards learning about the function in situations characterized by cultural difference. Behavior reflects the capability to exhibit appropriate verbal and non-verbal action when interaction with people from different cultures. This indicates that CQ represents the cognitive ability of employees to gain cultural knowledge and their motivation and action to learn knowledge. This includes the cognition of knowledge sharing motivation and behavior. Metacognition, cognition, and motivation can support and encourage knowledge learning and sharing among employees. Uh, whereas, uh, wherever behavior reflects action and the result of the knowledge sharing. To sum up, because it's a quite extensive topic, CQ has a positive impact on their sustainable innovation behavior.
Thank you for that, Karen. I heard the new, there's a lot of words, heavy words for me because I'm not an HR professional. So thank you for that. And, there's a lot of Sean's there: recognition, metacognition, and motivation, and, everything is Sean. But um, maybe, I think we are in an environment right now wherein there's a positive CQ because we are here in one setting. There's coming from Peru, coming from Malaysia, and coming from Philippines, and that's a positive environment, in terms of like in terms of cultural intelligence. But how about there's an hypothesis ongoing right now that says that EQ, employee CQ, has a positive influence or effect on knowledge sharing. Can you enlighten me on that, as a talent acquisition specialist, Michelle?
Okay, good morning again. That was a good question on knowledge sharing. Okay, social exchange theory proposes that social exchange is a process of interpersonal interaction where individuals exchange important resources to maintain a good interpersonal relationship by considering the relationship between reward and contribution. Knowledge sharing facilitates mutual learning among members within the organization. It facilitates the exchange of knowledge and experiences among members and creates conditions for the birth of new ideas and creativity. Empirical studies have also verified the impact of employee knowledge sharing on innovation behaviors.
Okay, thank you for that, Michelle. So there is a study, being made, having tested the influence of CQ in terms of knowledge sharing. But how about with employees' knowledge sharing? Does it gives a positive impact on their sustainable innovation behavior? Professor, maybe you can enlighten me on that.
Cultural quotient. Interesting. Cultural quotient is a kind of cross-cultural interaction ability. Again, it's an ability with a direct effect on the employees' innovation behavior. However, there may also be an intermediary mechanism between the cultural quotient and innovation behavior. An example would be when employees are in a multicultural environment, individual cultural the CQ can promote knowledge exchange and communication among the employees in the company. So it supports the cross-cultural interaction among members. Um, the cultural quotient could also facilitate the ability of employees to learn from each other as they share knowledge. Another thing would be as to how they can discuss their problems and find solutions to these problems, proposing new ideas, and find new ways how to approach these issues. There's a lot of things, wonderful juices that's really coming out from people, especially when individuals really possess this cultural quotient, or what we call CQ.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. I agree with a lot of words there. Knowing that I came from multinational industry as well, so I deal a lot of in terms of like dealing with different nationalities and different behaviors. So that's really the behavior that we have to impart and share as well. In terms of like if you have bright ideas, that can come from anywhere in the world, and you can be surprised that one person can think of this like this. So that's a big improvement, or big contribution in terms of the organization. And I've been thinking, it has been hypothesized that knowledge sharing plays a mediating role in terms of like the impact of employee cultural intelligence on sustainable innovation behavior. So can you explain further, Jainab?
So you see, employee innovation behavior and knowledge sharing motivation are influenced by the interaction between individual characters such as CQ and the organizational cultural environment. So therefore, based on the diversity climate theory and activation theory, and also analysis of organizational culture differences, so it can be believed that organizational culture differences as an important factor influencing the organizational climate play a moderating role in the relationship between CQ and employees' sustainable innovation behavior and also knowledge sharing.
Yeah, so I think what you said, is very enlightening in terms of like, joining a multinational, if you are new into multinational environment, you have to, I think you have to have that trait or character. Um, how can you explain organizational cultural differences having a moderating effect in terms of like the relationship between CQ or cultural quotient and employee knowledge sharing? Maybe as the director, Karen can share his thoughts, her thoughts about this.
Yeah, for sure. Well, when you say moderating effect, it's important, I think, first define what is. It's an interaction effect of variables on the relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. Employees with high CQ are more likely to share knowledge with others, and those knowledge sharing behavior further promote the generation of innovate ideas and employee behaviors. In the context of cultural diversity, cultural consistency, and cultural difference coexist within an organization. When the consistency of organization culture is strong, the culture difference is small, and employees with a high Q are more likely to share knowledge with others. This facilitates innovation. In contrast, when culture difference become larger, knowledge sharing may be weaker. There, Therefore, the interaction between organizational cultural difference and knowledge sharing may negatively affect sustainable innovation behavior.
Thank you for that, Karen. And it's very interesting regarding what you said about the theories, and it's very mind-boggling. I can say that if you are not a HR professional, you'll be thinking what those theories says, what about those diversity in terms of culture. So I'm thinking, does organizational culture differences have a moderating effect, or any kind of effect, on the relationship between, well, cultural intelligence or CQ and employees' sustainable innovation behavior? Um, Michelle, can you give more ideas regarding this one?
Okay. Well, organizational culture differences was found to have no significant moderating effect on the relationship between employees' cultural intelligence and sustainable innovation behavior. Employee CQ was found to promote sustainable innovation behavior. However, their interaction between organizational culture differences and CQ has no significant relationship with sustainable innovation behavior. These results show that relationship between CQ and sustainable innovation behavior was not sensitive to the change of organizational culture differences. This may be because the sustainable innovation behaviors of employees reporting a high cultural intelligence were not directly related to the differences of organizational culture. Thank you.
That's very enlightening. Well, I must say that you have four of you who's present right now have a very high, CQ, if I may say, because you love knowledge sharing, and you're a testament of that. I must say that this has been a very bright, morning, and knowledge sharing in terms of like because of the guests that we have. So it's very mind-boggling, in terms of like knowledge sharing, and um, I might say I might need a brain snack, just to digest all those juices. So yet again, we have to say goodbye, because our time is very limited right now, and yeah, I have to thank you for your time and your effort on on knowledge sharing about HR, cultural intelligence. So even those theories that I don't know about. So let me thank you again, Professor Philip, and Director of the HR, Karen Smith, and specialist, talent acquisition, so Michelle, and Jainab, who's a student as well, learning, and um, so to our viewers, we hope to see you on our next episode, and then thank you and good morning, Canada.
Thank you.